I have nothing against Elden Ring winning Game of the Year. In fact, I think that's the correct choice. Although, I do think it's funny that all the smaller awards that should make Game of the Year when combined went to God of War, yet Game of the Year went to Elden Ring. That's such a Game Awards thing to do. Anyway, if you watch this channel, your main genre is likely first-person shooters. However, the shooters that are most worth talking about are not the styles of games that would make it to the Game Awards. So, let's make our own Game Awards with fake awards and first-person shooters only. Hey, Jarek here, and I have a lot of categories and fake awards to give away. A few rules before I start giving away these fake awards. The first one is that I have to have played the game. I can't really judge a game that I've never played before. The second rule, and this is 100% just to keep this video interesting, I'm not going to be giving away numerous awards to the same game. That way we don't have a God of War wins everything except for the whole big award situation going on. The categories I will be talking about in this video will be Best Art Direction and Graphics, Best Soundtrack, Best Multiplayer, Best Action, Labor of Love, yes I stole this directly from Steam, Disappointment of the Year, this is not Worst Game of the Year, this is just the game that didn't live up to the hype, VR Game of the Year, Boomer Shooter of the Year, Half-Like of the Year, Mod of the Year, Worst Game of 2022, Demo of the Year, and Game of the Year. Let's jump into Best Art Direction and Graphics, and this game will be a surprise to most of you because you likely have no idea what it is. This is Hubris. I have a lot of complaints about this game. In fact, I would argue as a game, it's not really very good, but the one thing I can't fault it for are the graphics. There were many times in this game where I just wanted to stare off into the landscape. This game already looks pretty on a flat screen, but it's absolutely gorgeous in your VR headset. I've already made a video about this game, I just haven't posted it yet, you'll see it sometime soon. It's a good video, unfortunately I'm very sad about it, you're not gonna wanna miss it. Best Soundtrack. There are a lot of games I could have given this to. In fact, my number one game I want to give this to is winning another award later, so we're going to have to go to our number two, which could have won the award anyway. That is Serious Sam Siberian Mayhem. You can never go wrong with a Serious Sam soundtrack, they always nail this. Best Multiplayer. To clarify, I'm talking strictly PvP, not co-op here. This award is honestly really boring. Not many good PvP games came out this year, so I kinda have to just give it to the status quo Call of Duty game. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 wins this one. I don't even have anything interesting to say. It's Call of Duty. I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, it was fine, I'll probably continue playing it. Let's move on. Best Action. I'm gonna level with you, I made this award just for this game. Best Action of the Year goes to Ultra Kill Part 2. Yeah, Ultra Kill didn't technically come out this year, but Part 2 did, and it's worthy of talking about. Ultra Kill plays less like a shooter and more like Devil May Cry in first person. So, an evolution of a shooter. There are no words to explain how absolutely insane this game is. And yes, I know all this footage is coming from Part 1, I did make a video of Part 2, just trust me, it's really worth playing. Labor of Love. This is an award that goes to a game that didn't come out this year, but has been continuously updated and is worth talking about. I actually have 3 games I want to mention here, but I'll give the award to one of them. The first game I want to mention is, for personal reasons, it's not actually a shooter, I just want to shout it out. That game is Rivals of Aether. I've been heavily invested with the Rivals of Aether scene. It released back in 2015, and they added 4 new characters this year while working on Rivals 2. The devs have the Rivals Championship series, which is the esports side of things. They have supported the community for 7 years now. I myself run the local Portland scene for Rivals of Aether. We run monthlies, we run an online Pacific Northwest monthly, and we run local major tournaments, including a proper major this spring that will have Ultimate, Melee, and Rivals. Needless to say, an indie platform fighter that's still being updated and still alive 7 years later deserves to be mentioned here, even when I'm talking about first-person shooters. I just really wanted to. But okay, the shooters, the things you guys actually care about. First nomination is Iron Sight. This game is a shameless Black Ops 2 clone. I made a video of it sometime this year. It's still being updated with new guns and new maps. I really could not recommend this game enough. To me, honestly, this is my favorite Call of Duty game, even though it's not a Call of Duty game. It's free on Steam, it's not pay to win, it's not excessively grindy to unlock new guns. I would highly recommend. But the Labor of Love award goes to Halo Master Chief Collection. I had to give it to this. The redemption arc for Master Chief Collection is actually kind of insane. You remember when Halo on PC was just a pipe dream that we never thought would happen? Do you remember when Master Chief Collection released on Xbox One in a completely broken state? Never would I have ever thought that that game would eventually get ported to PC, be a good port, and still get updated with Steam Workshop support in 2022. There's only two things I could ask for when it comes to Master Chief Collection. One, please port Halo 5 to Master Chief Collection just for the multiplayer. And two, do the keyboard and mouse aim assist update that you did to Infinite. That makes the gameplay so much nicer. This next award is a doozy, and it makes me really sad. This is Disappointment of the Year. Again, this is not worst game of the year. It's not necessarily even a bad game. It's just a game that didn't live up to the hype. And that would have to be Bone Lab. Bone Works is one of my favorite games of all time. Bone Lab came out to basically just be VR Gary's mod with a very disappointing campaign. I could say a lot about this, and I already did. I would recommend you just watch the video if you want to know more. On the flip side, we have VR Game of the Year. And ironically, this game is just Cyberpunk Boneworks. It's lawn. I mean, really, Cyberpunk Boneworks is the best way to describe this game. Beautifully rich environments, combat that is similar to Boneworks, and it was only made by 3 people, which is insane. Trust me when I say the devs are very dedicated to making this the best VR game they could make, and I really think it needs more attention. Boomer Shooter of the Year. This one again goes to my second place winner for this award because the main place won another award. Boomer Shooter of the Year is going to Proteus. I mean, what more can I say? It's heavily inspired by Doom, it plays like Doom, the pacing is awesome, the guns feel great. I love everything about this game. It's hard to even describe why I love it so much because it just plays nice. It's a game I can play and not really put any thought into, just enjoy my time. Half-Life of the Year. And this one was actually pretty easy because once I've sorted out all the Half-Lives that came out, most of them actually didn't come out this year, they came out late 2021. That means Half-Life of the Year goes to Adaka. Adaka was a surprise for a lot of people. I played the demo back in the day, so it didn't surprise me too much, but it still came out better than I expected. This is like a mix of Half-Life and Halo. Don't let the low poly models fool you, this is a world I definitely wanted to explore. It's very easy to get yourself lost in this game, and that's without including the optional Stalker mode. Yeah, so the third inspiration for this game is Stalker, and the optional mode is just a Stalker game that you can put so much time into. This definitely deserved this award, please play this game. Mod of the Year. I'm not even going to try to hide this one, you know the answer. It's Entropy 02. There was actually a lot of really good mods that came out this year, but this isn't even fair. Entropy 02 is not only mod of the year, it might be mod of the decade. This mod is so good that if they released it on Steam as a full standalone game for $20 to $30, I would have no problem spending that money and buying it. If you like Half-Life 2 mods and you somehow haven't played this mod yet, go do it. You can download it on Steam for free. It is a must play. Worst game of 2022. This one was by far the worst over everything else. It's Crossfire X. Microsoft decided to buy the most popular first-person shooter in Asia, turn it to an Xbox exclusive, and also give it a Call of Duty style campaign. The multiplayer is also pay to win, very imbalanced, and excessively grindy. Why did you do any of this? It's bad, and to make sure this video doesn't end up 40 minutes long, I'll just redirect you to the video I already made of it. Demo of the Year. This is a bit of a weird award, but a lot of demos came out this year, and I wanted to talk about one of them. It's an excuse to talk about Sulaco. This is one of the games I'm looking forward to above everything else. It fits perfectly with that exact style of game I love. It's a linear-based, story-driven, fear-inspired first-person shooter. It is absurdly good, and I cannot wait for the final game. But that leaves me with one final award, the big one, Game of the Year. This game really took me by surprise. It's Nightmare Reaper. If it didn't impose the rule that one game couldn't win more than one award, this game also would have won Soundtrack of the Year and Boomer Shooter of the Year. This game surprised me, because if you explain this game as being another one of the retro roguelikes on Steam, I would have thought nothing of it. I would have thought it wasn't worth my time. And then I played it, and it played like nothing I had ever played before. Yes, the roguelike levels are procedurally generated, however there's levels in between that have an actual story, and when you die, you don't restart the entire game over again. It's an interesting way to add roguelike elements while still keeping the elements that make a boomer shooter good. The music is made by Andrew Holschultz, so it's as awesome as ever. The combat is what you would expect of a boomer shooter, but there's also some decent pacing with this being the roguelike level system that it has. It allows you to take your time and explore these levels, try to find guns that you want to use. It became one of my comfort games. It's very rare for me to play a single player game off stream just to relax. I almost always will instead go into a Discord call and play multiplayer or co-op instead. But this game is endlessly replayable. It is easily my game of the year. If you haven't played it, I encourage you to ignore all the buzzwords that you read about it and just try it out, because it does not play like the other games it's describing. And there we go, it's another year down. Can't say 2022 was the best year for first-person shooters, unless you really like boomer shooters. It was pretty good for those. But for everything else, it existed. I am pretty excited to see a lot more Half-Lives coming out, so we'll see what lies in 2023. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to join me in 2023 while I stream, check my Twitch. You can click that in the bottom right. If you subscribe, you get to see my videos at least 1 week ahead of time. And of course, I can't do what I'm doing without all of you over here on YouTube. So again, thank you for watching this video.